Welcome back to STL TV Live. Now joining me in the studio is Dan Paris, director, producer, and editor of the documentary called Give a Damn. What's the inspiration behind Give a Damn?
Well, I went to Africa in 2005. I went to this place called the Kibera slum. It's the second largest slum in Kenya. And I met people who were dying of HIV, that, you know, people were living on $1 a day like you see in the infomercials, but I was seeing them in person. Then I returned home from that, and I was just kind of wrestling with, like, how do I live? How do I buy $4 coffees when I meet people who are living on $1 a day?
Right.
And so I told my buddy Rob, I was like, hey, I think I want to make this movie about Africa and try to figure out what we should do about poverty. And he was like, well, I'll go. And I was like, really, you want to go? Because he didn't seem like the typical person to me to give a damn about poverty. And so kind of hence the name came about as me trying to get him to give a damn about the issue. I mean, he's kind of like the average person that says, why is that my responsibility? The people halfway across the world, you know, like, why is that? I got my own problems. There's poverty here. Why care about that? So I enlisted Rob. I got David involved, another crazy activist like me, and so we took off, yeah.
Okay, now did it actually start here?
It started in St. Louis. The concept, I went in 2005, it kind of rolled around in my brain for a couple of years, and then we started shooting in 2007, started fundraising in 2008, but it wasn't until 2009 that we actually started shooting it. It took about 1.5 years to fundraise, about 36 fundraisers. The average gift was like $100. The average giver was like 20-year-olds. Like 44% of our donations came from 20-year-olds.
Okay, so you lived off of $1 a day.
Yeah, so July 6, 2009, we left St. Louis and hitchhiked across America. So we stayed in abandoned buildings, homeless shelters, and each of us could only have $1.25 a day for food and lodging and transportation in America. Once we got to Europe, we tried to hitchhike, but we couldn't really do that. So minus the plane flights, yeah, we tried to, between continents, we lived on $1.25 a day. We dug out of dumpsters, we interviewed people at the United Nations. We just tried to experience extreme poverty the best we could. Okay,
now I want to know what you ate here for $1.25 a day, 24 hours. Just an example of something you ate.
One of the main things we ate was this stuff called peanut butter balls. So we would pool our money together, our $3.75, and we'd buy oats and peanut butter. And we would roll those up into little peanut butter balls, and we'd eat those, like 1 or 2 a day. But one thing was we could take one free gift, one free meal a day if somebody offered. And usually everywhere we went, we tell people what we were doing, and they would buy us a burger or something like that. Sometimes we would, you know, buy a $1 chicken sandwich from McDonald's and split into thirds and that kind of thing. And so,
and drank mostly water. I would assume.
Yeah, almost all water. You know, just go stick our little canteens and stuff under faucets and go into bathrooms and fill them up. And we really learned that that's the difference between poverty here in America and poverty in Africa, is that you can't just like get clean water anywhere you want to go. You know, there's a lot more dangers of malaria over there. There's just a lot of issues that, even though we tried to recreate poverty here in America, we couldn't do it. Much less do what Africans live in.
Right.
Or at least not every African, but Africans living in extreme poverty, which is
what you focused on.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what happened when you got over there?
So yeah, it took about a month to get from St. Louis to Africa. We traveled across London to Athens, and we flew to Africa. And the second day we went to that slum I told you about, the Kibera slum. And then the third day we were going to get a flight over that slum.
Okay.
And it was just a 20-30 minute flight to get overhead shots so we could show how big the slum was.
Okay.
And then about 20 minutes into the flight, the pilot told us it would hover or something so we could get a smooth shot because the door was off. And then the next thing you know, we just noticed we're getting really low. I look forward and the pilot's calm. I look out the window, we're still getting low. I look forward and he jerks up on the plane once, jerks up twice, and all of a sudden 2 power lines come into view. And all I can think is, I'm gonna die.
Now, who was in the plane with you when this happened?
It was me, my buddy Rob, the guy who didn't give a damn, that I told you about, and then the pilot and the co-pilot were in the front seat. So we were in the back filming with the door off.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what happened after that?
So the plane hit power lines, everything went black. It felt like, we just were in a roller coaster and just going off the tracks and banging up against walls. The plane hit a building, landed upside down. I woke up, I saw somebody, I was upside down, I thought I was paralyzed. I saw somebody running towards me, and then I went unconscious. And then I woke up about 5 to 10 seconds later, and Rob was like, the plane is on fire, the plane is on fire, you gotta get out.
Wow.
And I look back and there's just flames coming at me.
Alrighty. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to talk more about what happened and how you can get more information on the film Give a Damn. Remember, to keep up with STL TV and all of the great events going on around St. Louis, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can always watch us streaming live on stltv.net. We'll be right back.